Hey, welcome to Hanging Out on Monday nights. We've got a fun crew in here tonight. We've got people who are with jaundice. Yeah. People from all over the country. We've got Boston in the house. We've got LA. We've got...
You are so going down a song. We got Boston in the house. We got LA in I can hear the song now.
Well, we should have Temecula in the house, but we don't. We actually have Rosemont, Illinois in the house.
I'm in Rosemont, Illinois, right near Adobe Gillis. And what is that, the 294?
Yeah.
The Donald E. Stevens Convention Center.
He's at O'Hare Airport, basically.
Yeah, right near the airport.
So nice to see you in a different hotel room. Yeah.
This is my third hotel in 24 hours.
Before the show, Damon was talking about a house festival on a Sunday off of a bike trail from 3 to 7 o'clock. And he showed us a video of it that was pretty cool.
Looked really cool.
Grown folks. I thought it would be interesting to talk about regional events. What kind of regional events happen where you live? What's the weird, fun stuff that you do that's uniquely your town?
I'll start. In Temecula, we have Swingers Fest 4000.
We know that. Bring your own pineapples.
Upside down, baby.
Mm-hmm. Tell us about
that. What do we say to that?
Boom. Boom. Yeah. Keep that boom in.
My emotional support pillow.
So, Damon, tell us more about this. Tell us more about this thing that was going on Sunday.
No, it was just some DJs got together and took over this one little area on this bike trail called the Quinder Cut. And, it's a place that when you ride your bike on this trail, you can stop, relax, work out, and stuff like that. But every Sunday from 3 to 7 p.m., the DJ, they have different DJs every week. They just come, have fun, have vendors set up, have, refreshments and stuff like that.
Sure.
And it's a good time. Every week there's different DJs.
Free event.
And it's just a good vibe. And the average age was over 45. So it was grown folks music, grown folks and house music.
Nice.
It was a good time.
Nice.
Nobody acted stupid. Everybody was having fun.
Grown folks like to have fun.
Yes. And they'll support.
And they supported. And it was some good barbecue.
Really?
Adult beverages?
Yes.
Have adult soda?
Yes, they did.
Anybody else have anything like that?
Soda right now
that they do in your town? Something that's uniquely, or you feel like is unique to your town, or something you do, buddy? What goes on in Chicago?
Other than Jay coming here, and it's called pop in Chicago, not soda. So if you say soda, people look at you weird.
But pop.
during the whole entire spring and summer, and even in the fall, there's just so many festivals that go on. You can shake a stick, and hit one somewhere in the city of Chicago.
Or a steak.
There's always stuff going on. There's always stuff going on, and it's like they have the big stuff like Lollapalooza and stuff like that, but they have neighborhood festivals like Taste of Polonia, and they have Taylor Street, which is an Italian area in the city on the south side. They just had their big festival last weekend. So there's always stuff going on. You go to the cityofchicago.org, you go into the festival area, the list is just so long. And the cool thing is that when they have these neighborhood fests, is the music is very set for the neighborhood, but there's always other influences that come in. Mm-hmm. Taste of Polonia, you'll hear Polish music and polkas, but then they'll get into like Eurodance and stuff like that, and they'll get into house music and stuff, and they'll get into freestyle and stuff. It all depends on what the crowd's going, but there's a lot of fun events that go around all around the state of Chicago. It's if we had to make a list, it would be 5 miles long.
I know I'm not in Chicago a lot, but when I used to go down there for like photo shoots and stuff, we did a lot of rooftop events downtown. That was a thing. Like, there was always some rooftop thing going on, and you were way up in the sky somewhere. I don't know what buildings we were in, but there was always some kind of rooftop thing cooking with DJs, and it was fun. It was nice. It was chill. It wasn't crazy. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. I know every city has a rooftop, but it seems like Chicago has a lot of that stuff.
If Jay was still downtown, like he was last time he was here, he could have went to Navy Pier on Wednesday night they have the firework display. They have a half-hour firework display down the lakefront. So it's every single weekday during the summertime they have that. So it's just always stuff going on in Chicago. They always have things, and the suburbs too. A lot of suburbs. Week after 4th of July, it's the town where I live in. They had their fest. The town to the north of me, they had their fest coming this weekend. So they have fireworks and stuff like that. So there's always stuff going on. There's always festivals. And when I go to a fest, I'm sure like you guys, I always want to see two things. I want to see what the sound setup they have, because it's always cool, because I'm a gear guy, I'm a gearhead, so speakers and controllers and computers and stuff I'm always into. But also I want to hear what the DJ's playing. What are they going to? Are they going to new stuff? Are they going to old stuff? Are they kind of just flowing with the crowd? And what the people in the crowd are doing. I like watching the crowd and seeing them. They're bobbing their head, they're enjoying it, they're embracing the music, and that is, to me, is always the fun part when you go to those festivals.
I want to thank Buddy from Convention and Visitors Bureau of Chicago this week, who's brought us everything that's going on in the Chicago area.
Yeah.
Now over to Milwaukee's area with Brian S. Red.
Well, I was going to ask Calvin what goes on in Boston.
Oh, this is a big year. We got a lot of stuff going on. We've got the 400th anniversary of the nation coming up, so we've got an event coming up that we're doing sound and
stage.
It
takes place in Boston.
Of course it does. The center of the universe.
Right.
We're doing the tall ships are going to be on the harbor, so we're doing an event at Seaport, building a stage, doing sound, multiple DJs. That's kind of an afternoon thing. It's free to the public. That's coming up in first week of September. I think it's just after Labor Day. But we've always got patriotic stuff going on. It's like the 250th anniversary of the Marines this year, and in the U.S. Army. So there's been a lot of patriotic stuff. We're at Cambridge Commons by Harvard quite a bit doing stuff out on the green, set up open to the public with food trucks and petting zoos and stuff like that. So between that, the Boston Common always has things going on. They do concerts on the Common. They have bands come out and play. And then we'll get the Esplanade, where they always have the big 4th of July event every year right on the Charles.
Like 1 million people. Yeah.
A million people.
Literally a million people.
But so there's stuff going on. We got a hand in it this year just because it's the anniversary of some important milestones in American history. So looking forward to that.
I was there 50 years ago when the tall ships came through. My mom and dad and my sisters, we literally all went in 1976. Yeah.
I went to that. I got dragged. I still got the booklet.
I got dragged to it too. Somewhere the booklet is in my house. Yeah, Boston is always embraced, And I think when you're young, you kind of look at the guys dressed up like patriots and soldiers and running around Charlestown and Concord and Lexington, like, what the hell? But then you get old and you're like, yeah, it's kind of cool. They're still embracing that. And they're still
they get donations. They get funding.
History.
There's a group
they get paid eventually.
And BZ was talking about it, and how there's a group, and they're trying to get the ancestors of the original army. The grandchildren,
it's like daughters of the Confederate in Kentucky. That's like a thing. You become the daughters of Confederates.
Dress up in the outfits and go through the motions. And it's very ceremonious out here. But, we do hold nations close to our heart out here. That's just,
and as you should. I mean, that's obviously the greatest place where I'm from, of course. The history of it all. So back to Temecula, we're doing Lips or Hips Festival next weekend. This is one we do down in the dark, little under the bridge area. But again, if that's your thing, it's a good time. It's a good time. There's a lot of music, I think. It's kind of a Pacino thing, if you know the reference to the movie Cruisin'. I guess nobody else saw that but me. Okay, fine. So I support the arts. The rest of you don't. Okay, that's what
we're not playing any songs, but everyone can hum along. So
Okay. I guess Paris is Burning isn't even on the table anymore because, by the way, they've made a part 2. For those 3 of you like me that watched Paris is Burning, there's actually a part 2 where I won't go into it if you didn't see the first one, but the second one kind of full circles the first, and it's actually really nice. It involves families and.
Really?
Just trust me on that one. I swear to God, yeah.
I'm to check that
I just saw it like a week or two ago. It's like I saw this Paris is Burning. I'm like, 2. I'm like, what?
Well, the big question is, are they still voguing? That's the question I have.
You know what's funny? They are. And those groups are still that underground group. It's not just the voguing part, but they're still... I mean, it comes down to supporting the people that their thing is really not supported. But they end up getting some justice for the main character of Paris is Burning. Yeah, that was actually pretty cool. I joke around, but seriously, Temecula does the same thing a lot of little towns do. We've got the farmers markets.
Mm-hmm.
We've got things like that. I mean, Old Town Temecula was incorporated, and established in 1989. There isn't really a need to go back to the late 80s to go, hey, we're all going to dress up like, psychedelic furs and look at us. Yeah. So we don't have that aspect that you guys have because you're established. But, we have our little blues fest and our little bluegrass thing. And,
sure.
I think it comes down to, let's be blunt. The people putting on the festivals, if they do it for free, great. But a lot of them, it's like, hey, you can come over to the petting zoo and pet my dog for free. Oh, you want to come in and pet the actual animals? That's $8. So a lot of it comes down to people charging more than they should to see acts that might be worth $5 to see, but they're asking for $20 or $30. We've had quite a few of those fail.
Well,
what happened? I'm like, dude, what happened was you charged $50 to go see 18 bands that no one has ever heard of but the relatives of each band member.
Yeah, they have their
it doesn't work that way.
Milwaukee is the city of festivals. We have, of course, Summerfest.
Oh,
huge. Fairgrounds, and then there's Sherman Fest.
How many days is that now?
Well, they do it different than they used to. They used to do it for 10 days straight. Now I don't like the way they do it because they're only doing it on weekends because all of the multi-million-dollar condos have come in there and they're complaining about noise. So they can only do it on a weekend now.
Poor baby.
Before it was cool. People would take like a vacation to Milwaukee and stay here for 10 days and just go every day.
Yeah, because you had insane band spots.
But you can't do that anymore. You got to just go on the weekend. At any rate, there are DJs that open on those stages. I have opened on those stages for bands. Yeah. It's primarily bands at night. But what we are doing that's interesting, and I mean, Jay, you've been to my neighborhood. You kind of know what the vibe is. Yep. On the side streets off of the main drag, they're blocking those streets off and having neighborhood block parties with DJs.
That's awesome.
They've been doing a lot of that. Like, just certain areas, and then the restaurants will sponsor them, and the boutiques will sponsor them, and there's tents up, a lot of traffic, and it's a thing in this neighborhood where they'll do these little regional block parties with DJs.
I get asked
dancing and
probably once a month if I'm going to bring back the Friday night happy hour in my driveway that I did during COVID. That was 5 years ago, and at least once a month, someone will be like, "Oh my God, I know you. You're the DJ." Like you know how much pressure it is to be the DJ?
You gave us something to do. DJ. We had nothing to do.
Like there is no one else. Like, I'm the representative of all of us.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure. But they'll say, like, when are you going to do another Friday happy hour? And Michelle is like constantly like, oh my God, this weather's great. Why don't you do a Friday night happy hour? I'm like, no.
It's you like plan one for like Memorial Day weekend or something.
That's it. Now it's even I'm getting back on it. Like, because you realize that's kind of the cool thing, like blocking the streets by your place, going down to the lake. I mean, that's an awesome area. That would be great to be chilling out, hanging out at night with a DJ, maybe some fireworks or something. And, it's like
they're doing it off the main drag. They're not doing it at the lake. They're doing it off the main drag. It's just like a block. Like they're blocking the street off.
Oh,
like
nice.
For a couple blocks. Right off.
Oh, I know what you're
driving down the road. You're like, well, what's going on here? Traffic's still flowing, but on the side street, it's blocked. And then they're having these little, block-long neighborhood parties, or block parties, I should say. They're block parties. It's for the block. Or whoever the restaurants are, the boutiques are on the block, they're sponsoring it, but there's several of them. They happen quite a bit.
This was a New York thing every weekend in, like, certain areas of New York City.
Yeah.
Where people that had no money, that were all just working class people, would suddenly get together and be like, hey, I'm going to make some chicken. Oh, I'll make some meat. I'll do this. I'll make rice. I'll make beans. Before you knew it, you had an entire block blocked off, and you'd have a DJ just doing some cool Latin soul and disco, and it's a good vibe. I wish they'd go back to it. Do you guys, side question, because Boston started this years and years, decades ago. And I don't know, John, you can help out if they still do it. But on Sundays, they would close certain areas to cars and just allow bike and pedestrian traffic. Do you guys have that, like, in your downtown areas?
Not out here.
We have a section here that does that every Saturday.
Yeah, not where I'm at. Like North End will do that because the streets are only about 2 Volkswagens wide, and they'll.
Right.
We weren't using that street anyway, so if we put up wooden horses on either end.
They used to do Memorial Drive. They used to close Mem Drive on the river. They would close Memorial Drive side and leave Sturo open, so you could still get where you wanted to go.
The city of Chicago closes down Lakeshore Drive, and it's called Bike to Drive. They do it.
Really?
Yeah, they do it. There's a couple of different fasts, but Bike Drive is the big one where they actually close down Lakeshore Drive right along the lakefront, right along the kind of the tourist area between basically Soldiers Field and kind of almost Navy Pier.
Right.
And people go on their bikes. They start usually on Sundays, and they go up and down with the bikes. And Chicago police, they shut it all down, and people go out there for a few hours and just enjoy riding on there because originally Lakeshore Drive and that whole entire area with all the parks was designed when they did it for people to go there on a weekend and just be able to stroll around. And now Lakeshore Drive is there, and you have cars zipping by at 45 miles an hour. But when they do that, people love it, and that's always a cool thing. So if you're in the mood and you have a bike and you put it on your calendar, you can always go there and actually ride on Lakeshore Drive.
That's cool.
With hundreds of other bike enthusiasts.
That's
We're going to go back to the studio. I want to thank Buddy Mueller from Parks and Rec Chicago for explaining how this whole thing works every weekend. Back to you, Jimmy.
Yeah. Even more fun when those races pop up, like you're on your way to someplace in Cambridge, all of a sudden Waze tells you that road is red, white, red, white, red, white. Like, oh no, there's a road race today. What's going on?
We get it in front of the house, but it's usually mornings. It's like Sunday morning kind of thing, so it's like whatever. If it was Friday afternoon, that would suck. But Sunday morning, it's usually not a pretty big deal for most people.
I think people are starting to wake up, especially young people. I saw this over the weekend at Vinyl Fest, or VinylCon. I keep saying Vinyl Fest. There was probably 6,000 people that came through.
Wow.
Yeah. No, it was packed. And it was solely to look at and touch and buy records. And they had them from all over the world. And I feign no shame in this. I don't have the collective sense that most of you guys have. So I don't know that the David Bowie Japanese import is the one to get. It's sort of like baseball cards. Like, which one is the Honus Wagner? Which one is the Mickey Mantle? Like,
I approach
versus
it
which one do you just want to have?
If I thought there was
you made the best statement ever. You're like, I'm like, hey, Brian, I'm here at VinylCon. They got like $6,000 records, this and that. And you're like, I've had good success in the dollar bin. That's kind of where I'm looking.
That's where I live.
A bunch of random stuff, and you'll find cool
that's
stuff.
Where I'm looking, and I'm like, oh, these are selling like $800. I saw a Motorhead album that I have, the cassette. I know I have the CD. I didn't have the vinyl. It was $120, and I'm like, but I guess if you wanted it,
it's probably not terrible. That's probably a deal.
No, that's what I mean.
It's like an English pressing or something.
Point of reference.
Yeah,
but it made me realize, as I saw younger and younger crowds come in, maybe they'll go back to the way music was delivered as well. Like, here are some DJs tapping into a light pole in 1977 in Brooklyn and throwing down in a park. Maybe we can move that forward to 2026.
I kind of have a suspicion that most of the people who are doing this stuff now are, let's use the word affluent. Where
bougie.
So
I
always looked at it like it was almost like a scavenger hunt. I was digging through crates looking for gold, and like a prospector back in the old timey days, you didn't always find gold in that pan. Once in a while you did though, but you worked it and worked it and worked it. To me, that's fun and that's rewarding. That's how I like to approach it. I don't like if all I had to do was throw money at things, you can't buy cool, man. I like to just buy stuff.
It was emphatic and funny the way you just said, like, yeah, I live in the dollar bins.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? You're like, that's where I find gold.
Yeah,
Like, good for you. Versus if somebody and again, I don't have a point of reference. So if I walk in and they go, hey, here's the phone, it's $25. Oh, wow, cool. Then the next guy goes, hey, this phone, $2,000. Really, why? This one's an import that we brought. It's it's only one. Oh, well, I want to be cool and have the $2,000 phone, even if it's the same as the other one. So
I don't know.
it was a good learning experience, but it was good to see people appreciate something.
If I was told that there was a record shop or place and there were 6,000 people who are looking for records, I would not go because they would scrap up all the deals. If I was told that there's a used bookstore that all these book people go to and they happen to have records, I go there. Yep. That's where I go because
this was a constant flux of it was what 10 to 6, 10 to 5. So there was constantly people coming and going. But it's funny because the really valuable piece that somebody talked about was a master press, never released single that Prince performed on with this group before he was Prince.
Oh, the 94 West thing?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the talk of, like, I think that guy's here and he has that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a one-of-one master press. It's the first known recording of Prince, but it's not Prince. It has nothing on it. But it's one of those, the myth kind of thing. Because he even said, because I thought Brian, he goes, everyone thinks it's a Black album. No. And I'm like, no, that's the one I keep lying to Brian. And I got 10 copies of it. So like, no, it's this one. It's just in a white sleeve.
It usually is. But, things are only worth what people will pay for them.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like that with everything. It doesn't matter what it is, especially old stuff. It's whatever it's worth to a certain group of people. I think my generation really digs, certain music from the 80s and the 90s. And then there's older generations that are coveting more things from the 60s or 70s. And newer generations, I don't really care. It's not a thing. But, yeah, I mean, it's worth what people pay for it, basically. And I'm not that kind of collector. When you come to my house and we look at records, I'm not trying to impress you with something that I'm trying to show you something you don't know.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That turns me on. It's showing you something and just checking it out. And I think I get more joy out of playing you a record or playing anybody a record that's in just beautiful shape. And I think, I paid 75 cents for this. I get more joy with that than saying I paid, way too much.
$6,000. And if I crack it, it's like good wine. I've always wondered how people justify, like, I paid $50,000 for a bottle that could be vinegar. Like, there's no guarantee I'm getting what I think I'm getting versus this is $3 and it's delicious. And here you go. Enjoy it.
The most valuable record I have is, I think it's Into the Wu-Tang Clan, the 36 Chambers.
Yeah.
It's worth like $1,000. But I've never played it, and it's not my favorite record.
Is that the one that was the last one that they weren't going to copy, but they copied?
No, that's not that one.
Oh, okay. Because that one's supposed to be out there.
That's not the record that brings me the most joy. That's just the record I have that's the most valuable. It's, you know what I mean? It's just kind of about whatever turns me on. That's how I do it. The collection back here, it means nothing to nobody except me because it's so
right, and that's the way it should be.
There's Bobby Caldwell. And there's Divine in this collection. It makes no sense. And there's Horner.
Red, I'm sorry. I have to say this. We all know you be at home listening to ODB, the RZA, the Jizza, Inspector Doc, Method Man. We understand. I mean, you may not. You could tell us on here it may not be.
I like what I like. Hey, I love a lot of hip hop.
All the Redman Method collabs.
Exactly.
Brian's down.
He got them all.
Yeah, he won't tell you this, but he's a huge Ja Rule fan.
Yeah.
And he takes Ja Rule's side in the whole beef about Big Pun with Fat Joe. I know that for a fact. I'm just saying. Didn't produce no push buttons. If you know. I'm just saying. I'm down with the sickness. I'm just because I got, obviously, I got jaundice. I'm down with the sickness.
Just so you know, this hot mess is brought to you by DJ Event Planner, just like last week. Thank you, DJ Event Planner, for sponsoring this hot mess. We appreciate it.
I'm getting worse by the minute.
Yeah, Jay's got a bit of a skin condition.
Yeah, you need some iron, butterfly.
And all better. Just like that. Push the